Poppy K and her weekly vlogs, shopping, reading and her monologues. Poppy K and her weekly vlogs. Poppy K, subscribe, like, comment and share. Well, hello. I have just finished my little walk. I walked from Stirling Castle to the Wallace Monument, and then we went up the Wallace Monument. So we're back now from Scotland, just having a little bit of a refresh, reset, all that type of thing. And I finished The Witches of Scotland. I must say, what a fantastic series. It is amazing. Well, let me tell you for why. Because even though it's 8 books in the series, each book is really good sort of chunk, a digestible chunk, shall we say, of book to read. They're about 150 pages to about 250. So they're not massive. And each book literally picks up from where the last one finished. So there's no gaps, there's nothing like that. So that is one of the things I really liked about that. So glad I read it. Yeah, very good. So next I'm reading the Book of Witching by C.J. Cook. This was a recommendation by Johanna, my dog, and books, on one of her recs. And so I've started to read that. I am 4 chapters in, really liking it so far. We've got a dual POV, separated by 400 years, but bound by the Book of Witching, 2 women stand imprelled. Now, you've got Glasgow 2024 and you've got Orkney 1594. So, chapter 4 so far, really enjoying it. It's got quite a bit of atmosphere, which I'm quite liking. So, that is what I'm reading at present. When we went to Scotland, I'm going to put in a little thing after I speak to you. We went to now it's called the Library of Impray, and it is the very first library that opened up. William Duncan, I think his name was, he had loads of books, and basically he was running out of space for them. So he had them in the chapel, or in this chapel, but then his collection was getting bigger and bigger, as we know. We all have this problem. And he went he basically went from a small chapel. There was another chapel, but it wasn't being used. So he basically went over there because he didn't want to store his books somewhere where they were going to get damp and things like that. So basically opened up he went into the chapel, which you'll see in a minute. And he had that many books and things like that. He wanted to share them. So he basically said to the neighbouring villages and whatnot, you can come and borrow them. Because obviously back then in the 1500s, books were expensive. So basically all they had to do was write on a ledger what book they'd borrowed, and then they bring it back. And that was basically one of the first libraries ever. But it's an amazing place. If you ever go up towards Stirling and Crieff and that way, honestly, I would highly recommend it. So I'm going to roll a clip now, and then you'll be able to see. I have finished the Book of Witching. Oh my gosh, what a book. It's told in a dual POV, and you've got the modern and then the ancient. And oh my god, it is really clever how they bring everything together and how the two are linked. If you're into anything, the witch trials or anything like that, this is definitely a good book to read because it is quite authentic, and the research that's been done into it. I believe C.J. Cook has written The Lighthouse Witches, or The Witches of the Lighthouse or something, so I might have a look out for that. And there's a couple of other haunting books and stuff like that she's written, so I want to read those as well because I do like her style of writing. Yeah, it was very nice to kind of see how the witch trials were back then and how accurate it was. Very accurate. So brutal, not fair, and yeah. So I'm going to go now because I'm going away next weekend, so we'll be seeing that one. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye!